Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of IK NHL Daily Talk. My name is Iacob, and I'm joined here by my other host, Kyle Westlenchuk. Say what's up.
Hey guys, what's up? And yeah, we're happy to be back with a YouTube video where we're actually one, showing our faces, and two, it is both Jakob and I. Finally. It's been too long, bro. So
It has been.
yeah.
It's been a while. Sorry, guys.
But yeah, no, I guess I don't know, what you got much to say, or do you want to just hop straight into this?
Yeah, well, honestly, we'll just hop in straight into it. I'm not gonna introduce the things now because you guys should know how it goes, so I'm not going to bother you. And obviously, let's get straight into it. I'm excited. I'm ready to jump into it. I don't need to explain what we're gonna talk about. So, Kyle, jump into it.
Believe it or not, we're gonna talk about NHL news, so let's get going on that.
So,
But obviously, our first news topic has to do with a prospect who signed with the Pittsburgh Penguins, or I guess now a Penguins prospect. Well, actually, he was drafted by the Penguins. I missed that part completely. But the Pittsburgh Penguins have signed forward Bill Zonon to a 3-year entry level contract. Zonon, who's 19, has 14 goals and 46 points through 35 games played with Blainville Boisbriand Armada in the QMJHL this season. Hopefully, I did not butcher that too badly. But he was drafted 22nd overall by the Penguins in the 2023 entry draft. And I'll pull up his profile here real quick, but he's got 7 points in his last 5, 15 in his last 10, so he's been pretty good as of late. He is from Montreal. He's a 6'2", 190-pound centerman, and he's known as a playmaker, puck handler, and a workhorse. Moving on to his stats, obviously 46 in 35 this year, and he had 83 and 64 last year, so we'll see how he ends the season, but obviously, I don't think the QMJHL season is done yet, and he will be sticking it out for the remainder of the year. But then he will be joining his brand new team, and we will see what happens. But I like this signing. Obviously, you're signing a rookie, and obviously, he's not a bad player. Maybe he can provide some value to the Penguins if they put him in the lineup, or he can go play for Wilkes-Barre.
yeah, no, and one correction that I do want to make is that he was actually drafted in 2025, not 2023. So,
I said
okay.
2023.
Yeah, you said 2023. I was like, buddy, he did not get drafted in 20. He was 16 in 2023. So, just a quick correction for Kyle. We're honest on this episode, and yeah, I just want to make that quick correction before the fans start hating on us and be like, "Yo, it's 2023 5, not 2023." So, but
I
yeah,
I
good
do.
player. And
Oh, sorry, Jakob, but I do believe the first time I said it when I seen it in the caption, I did say 2025. So I just messed it up. I don't know what happened, to be honest.
yeah, I know, but I did want to point some out. When me and Kyle did a franchise mode, I actually have this guy on my franchise mode. He's actually a pretty solid player, so I'm excited to see what he can do with the Pittsburgh Penguins, or like Kyle said, possibly with the AHL, depending on how his stint goes in the NHL. But unless Kyle has nothing to say, I'm ready to move on to the next topic.
I say let's move on, and I will pull it up for you, Mr. Jakob.
As I do not have anything, to. But the next guy that we see is that the Philadelphia Flyers have signed Riley Thompson to a 1-year entry-level deal. Thompson, who is 23, had 13 goals and 27 points through 37 games played with Ohio State in the NCAA this season. He was actually a undrafted free agent. So, Ohio was pretty good at college, so I'm not surprised that, he's putting up points. And yeah, he's 23, he's 6'4", 216 pounds, so he's a pretty big guy, but yeah, like we see, he's a center slash left wing, and this year he had 27 in 37, and last year he had 33 and 40. So, but I do want to mention something before Kyle gets his opinion that Ohio State is a very competitive program. They are kind of one of the best, and they're ranked number 9 apparently according to Elite Prospects, or maybe he's number 9. I don't know, but according to this, they were ranked in like the top 10 for a while, and they played some pretty good teams. So I like this for the Philadelphia Flyers. I think they get a very good prospect in them, and someone who comes from Ohio, someone who has watched Ohio State play. I think you guys got a real threat in this kid because he's a very phenomenal player.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know much about the player. I just know the last name Thompson as it's a name that we see a lot. But yeah, obviously he's got 11 points in his last 10. He's a pretty good guy, and I mean, ultimately these NCAA free agents are almost never a bad signing because you're getting a 23-year-old who's a pretty big kid, and well, kid, whatever you want to call him, but yeah, not a bad guy, and hopefully he can provide some value to that oh, Philadelphia Flyers lineup, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, worst thing is he's not a player, and you let him go, and see you later.
Yeah.
But move on to the last signing, at least on the, I guess, puck or puck empire, because there's a couple of other signings. If it will load, hello, there we go. So the Anaheim Ducks have signed forward Herman Troff. So obviously, he is a Swede, and yeah, Herman Troff to a 3-year entry level deal. And Troff, who's 20, has 23 goals and 41 points through 51 games played with IK Oskarshamn in the Hockey Allsvenskan this season. And albeit that is not the top pro league in Sweden, is actually tier 2 behind the SHL, it's a pretty good, signing. And he's not a bad kid. I mean, ultimately, we'll see what he becomes at the NHL level, but he was drafted 91st overall by the New Jersey Devils in the 2024 NHL Entry Draft and traded to Anaheim in the Brian Dumoulin trade at the 2025 deadline, which I do actually recall that move. But for Herman Troff, he has 3 points in his last 5 and 4 in his last 10, so he's not crazy point scorer, but he's 20 years old. He's 6'3", 198, so decently sized. And then, of course, he is a hella. Gosh,
Let it out. Let it out. It's okay. Let it out. You're good. You're good.
I'm already yawning, bro. It is what it is. But I mean, I've had a long day, so actually this time it makes sense. But
That is
he's
true.
a heavy shooter, physical forward, and a two-way forward. So we'll see what he can be at the NHL level, of course. But yeah, this season obviously spent all in the Hockey Allsvenskan, 41 and 51. Last year he split his year between the SHL and the Hockey Allsvenskan, which he actually played some SHL games the last couple of years. So I'm unsure of why he ended up in the Allsvenskan rather than, you know, I guess the SHL. But that is a good question, and I guess he will be joining the San Diego Gulls in the AHL. So dang. I don't know what's going on, to be honest. I have no idea, Jakob. But yeah, no, good for him, and we'll see what he can provide to the Anaheim Ducks roster. But you're signing a rookie, or is that, well, I guess you didn't draft him, but you got him in a trade, and might as well sign him. Worst
That's
thing is
true.
he
Yeah.
don't become nothing.
Yeah, and I have no comment, so I'm ready to move on to the next news.
All right, sounds good. Which I will let you take that, and well, I guess I'll close this now because we are now moving on to the next signing, which is this man right here. Jakob, take it away.
And this one was actually posted yesterday, but it was posted after, Kyle did the episode yesterday, which you guys can go check that out. It is on YouTube. But the New York Rangers have signed defenseman Drew Fortescue to a 3-year entry-level contract. He will report to New York immediately and burn the first year. Oh my goodness. So I guess
Oh
he's
wow.
he's getting thrown into the mud pile already. And the 20-year-old was a 2023 third round pick, but number 90, and had 14 points in 36 games played with Boston College. With Boston College is also a pretty good university to play hockey. It's not like, like crazy good like Michigan, Penn State, Ohio, but they are still up there and they're still pretty good. And he's 6'2", 194 pounds. So, he's not really that big of a defender, but apparently they call him a defensive defenseman and a two-way defenseman. And to be honest, at that, I don't know what to call it, body statue, body info. That looks like it could be a good defensive defenseman as he can skate back and track back real quick than maybe these tall guys can. So, but like I said, this year he's played with Boston College. Last year he split between he played at the World Juniors under 20 for USA and then split his time with Boston College. So yeah, good. And like I said, I don't know much about the player, but it could be one of those signings where it's like it's a low risk. You don't like him, you ship him to AHL. You really don't like him at all. You just waive him or you let him go, and another team that could think. But I just think that's crazy that he's already gonna burn his first year. Like they just wanted him quickly. They're like, oh well, we're already tanking, we're already retooling. We just want prospects, and we want prospects that can play tomorrow. So. Yeah, oh God, I would love to see when this guy starts playing. I might watch his first game just to see exactly how he does and how he competes at that top level. But I will tell you guys right now, the collegiate level and the major leagues is two very different intensities. The NHL is a much faster, much harder intensity than looking at college. College is hard too, I promise. Okay, I watched my brother play juniors. Juniors is like a step below college, and juniors is hard too. So like the intensity there is hard. So you watching college hockey players play, the intensity there is 20 times harder than juniors. But then you look at the NHL, and the NHL is like 1,000 times harder. So, I hopefully good things for the kid and good luck, and hopefully you don't turn out to be one of those like blowouts or the burnouts that people say because you're not ready for the big leagues. But Kyle, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I don't know about propelling him right into NHL action, but ultimately we'll see what happens. And yeah, the Rangers trying to just blow one of his years on his contract is honestly a bold move, and I don't see why you wouldn't just start him in the AHL, especially since that New York team is already drowning as it is. But I like the signing. Obviously, he's a very defensive-minded defenseman, hence why he does not have a lot of points. But yeah, I don't hate the signing. I look at it as like it's another one of those what can go wrong, and yeah, good for the kid, and I really do hope that it works out for him in that situation.
Yeah.
All right, well, I will move on, Jakob, to our next point, which that is all for these signings, actually. And, well, unfortunately for this player, of course, but, you know, the last news point that we have for the day is, of course, AJ Greer has been suspended for 3 games for boarding Flames forward Connor Zary. And, yeah, I watched the hit, and, like, Connor Zary was skating towards the boards, and, of course, AJ Greer went up high with a cross check right in between the numbers, and it was a pretty nasty hit. And then Zari went headfirst in the boards, and rest is said. And yeah, 3 game suspension is warranted as he did get a 2 minute minor for hooking on the play as well, and then on top of that he got the 5 minute game misconduct in that. So too bad, so sad. Bye bye AJ Greer, I guess, for a little bit, but yeah, he has 2 goals in his last 5, and then of course another assist to add to that. 2 goals in his last, 10. But he's a 29-year-old forward. He's 6'3", 207. He's kind of like a nasty guy where like he does hit a fair amount. He'll play a little bit rough, a little nasty. He kind of does it all, and he's not terrible. Like this season, actually, Iacob is his best NHL season yet, where he has 13 goals, 11 assists for 24 points in 68 games, and he had 17 last year in 81, 12 and 59 actually with the Calgary Flames, and then obviously 12 and 61 with the Bruins back in the 22-23 season. But yeah, good signing. Well, I don't know why I'm talking about signings, but yeah, unfortunate for AJ Greer, he got caught, and it was a dirty play, and he definitely deserved 3 games, but I don't know. I'm not sure if Carnazari sustained an injury on the play. I actually did not watch that closely, but yeah, hopefully he's all right. And AJ Greer, you need to reconsider. You're kind of like a Radko Gudas, where I feel like you make the wrong play a lot of the time, where you go a little bit too hard, you make the wrong play, and you board a guy like that. And yeah, I don't know, Yaka. What do you think?
I based on I actually asked a lot of people's opinions, a lot of NHL people's opinions, and people are actually furious with the decision for that. They think it shouldn't have been warranted a three. They think based on the collision of the hit and him going head first and all that, they think it should have been at least like a a lot of people are saying a 10 plus, but
10
obviously
plus. Wow.
I wouldn't say that. Okay, me specifically, I wouldn't say that. I think you give him. I think you give him. I think you look at the severity of it, and the severity of it is that the kid went head first into the boards. Like that's already a precaution for a concussion protocol, and obviously, you're already cross checking him as he's like. Technically, it looks like he's falling a little bit, so I would give him like 5, 6 games. But a lot of people are saying they should be 10 plus, but obviously, I think a lot of people are just pissed off. I think a lot of people are just, they just don't like AJ Greer. They don't like the Panthers. But you know, I got told that, but I actually don't agree with that. I think they should have given him at least a 5 or a 6 because of the fact that the guy literally possibly I think sustained a head injury because the way the video was showing, he was holding like the back of his neck like this area right here. So I think it could be something to do with obviously, he wasn't I don't know if did he I don't think he played today. I think they said something on the announcer about they were going to check him for a concussion protocol. But obviously, I'm worried about because Connor Zary is a phenomenal player, but yeah, like Kyle said, AJ Greer kind of reminds me of like a Radko Gudas, and you make the wrong decision at the wrong time, and yeah, it turns out that, but honestly, my opinion should have been at least a 5 or a 6 game suspension due to the severity of how he went head first. If you don't, if he did not go head first, 3 games would have been perfect. But the fact that he went head first and it was a hard like push like that, I think it should have been at least a 5 or a 6. But that's just my opinion. Obviously, I could be wrong. I could be right. I don't know.
Well, I think the only reason they give him a 3 is because, obviously they compare it to other suspensions they've handed out in the past, and if it's comparable to another one of those, they have to kind of give the same punishment. And I still think the NHL's punishments between fines and suspensions are just horrendous. None of them are ever, enough. Like, players should miss more games. Players should, get fined higher amounts. And it's honestly a
Yeah.
joke, but I don't know. Gary Bettman in the NHL, you guys got to figure that out because I don't know. Jakob and I can't do nothing unless you actually let us, tell you what to do. But
Yeah,
you
because
got
I don't think the NHL is concerned with the. I don't think the funny part is I don't think the NHL has this like NHL like player safety whatever, but I don't think the safety part really works. I think they're worried about more of the player part than the safety part because some of these fines and some of these suspensions like that Radko Gudas hit on Austin Matthews. That's a suspension that killed a guy ended a guy's career. Like you have to be suspended for way more. I feel like for me, Radko Gudas 5 games, that's a slap on the wrist. I think he should have been given at least like 10. I don't want to sound biased or anything towards anybody because truth be told, I do not like the Maple Leafs. I don't like I've told you guys before, but realistically, if you end someone's season, you need to get more than 5. 5 is just I don't think the NHL, personally, me speaking, the NHL is not taking care of the players' safety. I think they're worried more about the players and their reputation over the players' safety.
I think to a degree that's true, but yeah, I don't know. It's really hard to comment, and obviously I'm not a part of the conversations, and I don't know what goes on behind closed doors. But apparently GMs were talking amongst themselves about goaltender interference and how we need a more clear definition of it and what should actually be deemed it. And apparently Gary Bettman said that there were no issues with it because he does not want to change things. But I don't know. I guess Yaka, before we go too far into this, we can talk about this more at the end. Do you want to get on to the scores and whatnot?
Yeah, and I will re-intro because we actually do have a different system we're going to use today. We have decided that since we have a long, NHL schedule, we're gonna let the wheel decide which games it's gonna allow us to fully recap on. So we're gonna pick one game each
All
based on
right,
what the wheel tells us, and we're gonna do that. So Kyle, go ahead and spin for your first game that you have to recap.
let's see, and I will recap whichever game. The Canadians Islanders game. Okay. Okay, and
Okay.
I'll remove the Canadians and the Islanders from the wheel here real quick, just so that you can't roll them. And then for you, Jakob, you will get do 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 do.
Oh no.
Okay,
Oh.
you will get
Okay,
the
I'll
LA
take the Kings here.
Kings versus the Buffalo Sabres, I guess. And actually, it's really good because I'm looking at how it aligns, and it actually aligns perfectly. So based off of that, Jakob, I guess I gotta go first.
All right, sounds good to me. And we're just gonna say there was a lot of games yesterday, and we have to recap. We're just gonna say we're not gonna worry about the 3 stars and nothing. We're just gonna say the winning goal and the game-winning goal. I think.
Yeah, and then of course the score because you gotta say the score. You gotta know who won the game.
Yeah,
But
obviously.
but yeah, we'll move on. So in this first game, we see this game go all the way to a shootout. And actually, I saw one play where it was kind of ridiculous, and people are questioning why Morgan Barron didn't get a goaltender interference against Archer Shilaus, but the NHL apparently backed up their claim that it wasn't goaltender interference, and that was what kind of sparked that whole conversation about the goaltender interference thing. But the Penguins do still come out with the win in this one, so I'm just glad that didn't alter the outcome of the game completely. But the Jets get a point because of it, so the Penguins win 5-4 in a shootout. And of course, your winning goaltender in this one is Archer Shelovson. You know what? I'll recap the shootout real quick because I don't know who scored the shootout winning goal. So we'll go into this game real quick. And the way that the shootout went was Sidney Crosby scored. Okay, so he scored the winner. So Yegor Chinikov shot first on a wrist shot. He missed. Jonathan Taves went up for the Jets, took his own wrist shot and missed. Then Crosby with his own wrist shot went in and he scored to put the Penguins up 1-0 in the shootout. And then Gustav Nyquist obviously goes in. He doesn't score. And then with the chance to win it, Ricard Raquel makes no mistake and buries it for the Penguins to put them in the win column. And then, of course, your winning goaltender for this one is Artur Shilovs.
Yeah, and good win by the Pittsburgh Penguins. We'll move on to the next game, which sees the Nashville Predators face off against the Vegas Golden Knights, and the Nashville Predators win this one 4-1. And that was good for Oilers because Vegas didn't get 2 points, but unfortunately, apparently this is the second night in a row where Edmonton needs other teams to win, and when the other teams win, when the other teams lose, the Oilers can't get points. So I don't know what's going on, but the winning goal in this one sees Justus Anunen win, and then the game-winning goal was scored by Steven Stamkos.
Yeah, to be honest, Jakob, the Pacific Division is just so sad this year. It's actually embarrassing.
Yep, tell me about it.
But yeah, no, great win by the Preds, and Stamkos is having himself a heck of a season. Like, he's up to 34 goals now, including today, which, by the way, he did score today as well. So good for him and good for his team. And Predators are climbing the standings real quick. They're actually in a wild card spot now, so great to see. And I actually want to see this Predators team make the playoffs, especially after selling. That'd be huge for them.
Definitely, definitely.
But moving on, we see the Dallas Stars go and visit the Minnesota Wild, and the Wild actually take this one 2-1 over Dallas in overtime. And your
Love
winning
it.
goaltender in this one for the Minnesota Wild would be Philip Gustafsson, who allowed only one goal against the Stars, and then Vladimir Tarasenko would score your overtime winner. And I still remember him dating back to his St. Louis days, being a star, but obviously he's not that same star player, but he can still come up clutch in overtime in games like this. So, yeah, great win by the Wild, and good job, Tarasenko. I'm happy for you.
All right, we'll move on to the next thing, which this one I have to recap fully according to the wheel. But we
Let's
see the
do.
Buffalo Sabres visit the Los Angeles Kings, and the Buffalo Sabres take this one 4-1, outshooting the LA Kings 33-27. By the way, before you guys know it, I do have the iPad on, so that's why I'm looking down at my phone, at my iPad. I'm not
Oh,
looking
they,
down
they
just because
can't
I'm
see
on.
your face anyways, Jakob. Don't you worry.
Okay, good, because I'm not looking down at. If you guys can see my face in the court, I'm not looking down at just to look down at the ground. I'm looking down at the iPad so I can recap it for you guys. But Eric breaks tie in third, and the Sabres defeat the Kings for a fourth straight win. Sorry, I gotta get the phone keeps closing out on me, so I gotta get it in. Forward scores at 11-12 for Buffalo, which has won 12 of the last 13, and Los Angeles has lost 4 of the last 6. But we'll go over the goal scores real quick, which was the Kings who opened the scoring. This was the only goal by the Kings as Artemi Panarin off an assist from Anze Kopitar and Adrian Kempe finds the back of the net on the power play off a slap shot to make it 1-0, and that would be just halfway through the first. Then we go into the second period where Tage Thompson, who we've been speaking a lot about on this episode, on these podcasts, scores his 36th of his season to tie the game with 4 minutes and 5 seconds into the second period, and that would come off a wrist shot. Then we go into the third period where this is where the game-winning goal was scored by Sam Carrick, who scored his ninth of the season, assist by Benson and Metza to make it 2-1 for Buffalo, 11-12 into the third period off a backhand. And Rasmus Dahlin scored a power play own goal. So apparently it deflected off one of the Kings players and it went in the net. As it doesn't even say what type of shot it was, but it was 12-11. So literally 59 seconds after that, Sam Carrick, Rasmus Dahlin on the power play, assisted by absolutely nobody, just decides to put it off of someone's. Maybe he tried to shoot it in and it bounced off of someone. I don't know how it happened, but then we go into the fourth period. Fourth period. Oh my goodness, the fourth goal of the game for the Kings, which would be an empty netter as the Kings pulled their goalie and Zach Benson off assist from Norris and Malenstein with 17:35 into the third period off a wrist shot would bag home what would be the last salt to the wound. And Buffalo takes this one. The season series between these two teams, this was the last time these teams played each other. They played first on January 29th in Buffalo, where Buffalo won 4-1. And guess what? You wouldn't believe this. The score was also 4-1 when the Buffalo traveled to LA to play the Kings. But the power play, the Buffalo Sabres were 1-for-1 and the Kings were 1-for-3. Sorry, I just thought 100%, so I had to say it. The Sabres went with Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen with Colton Ellis backing him up. And Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen allowed 1 on 27 for 963, excuse me. And then the Kings went with obviously Anton Forsberg, who allowed 3 on 32 and had himself a 938 save percentage. So I don't know if the goalie did his job, but unfortunately the forwards could not keep the puck out of their zone, and unfortunately that's what you get. But good goalie performance for sure. Definitely not a good team performance, obviously. But yeah, that's the final score. The Sabres win this one 4-1. And the
Did you
three
say
stars of
that?
the game, excuse me,
Yes.
excuse
I
me,
was about to
excuse me,
say.
excuse me, 3 stars game. I'm about to sleep, guys. The 3 stars of the game, Tage Thompson was the first star with his goal, with his tying goal, then Sam Kerr with his winning goal was the second star of the game. And this is probably why I should have said the 3 stars before the goalie performance, because the third star of the game was the Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, who, yeah, allowed 1 on and had 963 save percentage. So, yeah, good win by the Buffalo Sabres, and Buffalo continues to stay red hot.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna lie, you completely threw me off with that one by saying in a weird order because I was expecting you to say the 3 stars, and I hear him go on and on about this and that. I'm like, what is this guy doing? But anywho,
Yeah.
yeah, no, Yuko Pekka had a great game, and Sam Carrick's been real good since joining Buffalo. I don't know what's going on with him, but makes me wish he was still an Oiler right now. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But we will move on, of course, because unfortunately we cannot just bring him back like that. We can't just snap him back into existence. So yeah, the Philadelphia Flyers visit the San Jose Sharks, and the Flyers win this one 4-1, doing us a huge favor in that Pacific slash wild card race. And then your winning goaltender would be Dan Vladar, who allowed only 1 on however many shots against the Sharks, and then Christian Dvorak would score the second goal for the Flyers, which would stand as the game winner. And I'm expecting that there probably was a few empty nets, but I guess we'll never know.
Sorry, guys. My little brother wanted to be a dickhead. So,
Mm-hmm. Oh well.
yeah.
I mean, you do your thing, Jacob. Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna go close the door real quick. I don't know why he leaves it. He leaves it open every time, but I'm gonna go close it real quick.
Yeah. Man, I hate that, like, when your siblings come into your room and then they just leave the door wide open when you clearly had it closed in the first place. So I would just assume that, they'd return it to where you put it, but that's not
No,
always how
that's
their
what.
minds work, apparently, I
Yeah.
guess.
All right. And Kyle, are you done recapping the game that you were on?
Yeah, I recapped the Flyers versus Sharks. So take the Kraken
All
versus
right.
the
Then
Blue
the
Jackets.
next game sees the Seattle Kraken visit the Columbus Blue Jackets, and it was the home team, the Columbus Blue Jackets, who took this one 5-2. The winning goalie was Elvis Merzlikins, and the game-winning goal was scored by Matthew Olivier.
Which, yeah, no, I mean, I'm not surprised that the Blue Jackets won this one, and they stayed red hot because they've been winning a lot of games and a lot of very important games for that matter. But now we will move on to the game where I will fully recap because, well, obviously I got a game, and I think I got the game with the most goals yesterday. So look at me go,
I think
Jakob.
so.
I'm a lucky
I
duck,
actually,
apparently.
yeah. No, you definitely did. You definitely did.
But yeah, so the Montreal Canadiens win this one 7-3 on the home ice, hosting the New York Islanders. They also outshot the Islanders 36-22, which that's mad. That's like big score difference and a big shot difference. But Caulfield gets hat trick, 2 assists. Canadians score 7 to pull away from Islanders, which, yeah, I mean that kind of says it perfectly. Suzuki, Slavkovsky each has 4 points for Montreal, which gets 4 straight goals in the third period. So, 4 straight goals and 4 points. I'm done.
Ha 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 ha. Very funny.
I don't know why I did that. I'm gonna be honest, but anyways, we'll go over your goal scored in this one. Yuri Slavkovsky opens the scoring for the Montreal Canadiens 4 minutes and 10 seconds into the first on the power play, assisted by Suzuki and Caulfield, which that would come also on a slap shot. Excuse me. But then the Islanders would respond with a power play goal of their own just a minute, I guess 2.5 minutes later on Emil Heinemann's 20th, with ever since being traded to the Islanders from the Canadiens, nonetheless, has been pretty damn good. Like, I mean, 20 goals. I don't know what he had last year. I'd have to fact check that, but he's been great. And Anders Lee assisted along with a Tony DeAngelo assist for. I did not realize Tony DeAngelo had 28 assists. Wow. Okay then. Good for him. But then moving on, the Islanders take the first lead of the night, and actually, by the looks of it, their only lead of the night, as they would go up 2-1 at the 13:19 mark of the first on a wrist shot from Simon Holmstrom, and that would be assisted by Adam Pelech. But then moving into the second period, which the Canadians wouldn't even score until late in the period, as Alex Newhook would score to tie the game and that would come at the 17:49 mark of the second on a snapshot assist by Caden Gooley and Oliver Kapanen, who had an excellent rookie season for the Habs. But then Cole Caulfield, with his 41st of the season on the power play, would score with under a minute left in the period to make it 3-2. And Suzuki obviously would get an assist along with Yuri Slavkovsky again. So those guys are unreal together. But moving into the third period, just 45 seconds into the third, Matt Schaefer would score on the power play to tie the game at 3 for the Islanders on a slap shot, assisted by Matt Barzal and Bo Horvat. And Schaefer had another funny play, Iacob, I don't know if you saw it, but he literally, like, the puck was floating over Jacob Fowler's head, and he just taps it in way above the crossbar. And obviously, it was high sticking, no goal, but it was just a funny moment to see. And yeah, he knew it wasn't going to count, but
Yeah,
sometimes you just got
obviously.
to do it because you got to do it. But
Mhm.
moving on, 3 minutes and 17 seconds into the third, the Montreal Canadiens would score their fourth, and that would come off of Caden Gooley's.
Let it out. It's okay. Well, I ain't gonna make fun of you this time.
Yeah, well, you just kind of did, so nice job, Jacob. But anyways, Caden
I
Gooley
said
gets his
let it
second.
out, buddy.
I know, but let me recap this game. Caden
I
Gooley
know.
scored his second of the season, assisted by Alexander Carrier and Brendan Gallagher. And then, of course, a few minutes later, Yuri Slavkovsky scores his 27th, along with his second of the night, assisted by Cole Caulfield, which he did score a couple goals after this one. Assisted, and Nick Suzuki got the second assist. And then moving on, of course, in the last 10 minutes of the game, Cole Caulfield would score his second goal, which that would be sixth for the Montreal Canadiens, and then the seventh goal for the Habs, which would be this hat trick goal. And yeah, he had an excellent night, and his team had an excellent game too. But we will move on to your 3 stars of the night, which your 3 stars of the night would be Cole Caulfield with, his 5 points, 3 goals, 2 assists, would be your first star of the night. Slavkovsky with 2 and 2 for 4 points would be your second star. And Caden Gooley with his goal and 2 assists is your third star of the night. And not to mention that Suzuki also had himself a very good game. But moving on to your goaltending performances, which obviously none of them were the star. But I guess both goaltenders for the Islanders would make an appearance, and presumably that would come after Sorokin allowed, the sixth goal in the third period there. But Sorokin would obviously allow 6 on 32 and had himself an 8-13, which that is not great to be honest. I don't know what happened there, but could have been way better. And then David Riddick, once he came in, ended up allowing 1 on 4 for a 750, which also isn't good, but yeah, I was totally clearing my throat, guys. That was not a yawn. It was most definitely a yawn. I will not even lie. But then Jacob Fowler, allowed 3 on 22 and had himself an 864, which is not great, but of course, it was good enough in this one. And we'll move on to your, you know, season series. And the Montreal Canadiens tied the season series at 1, and obviously these two teams will face off one more time on April 12th, but their first matchup coming February 26th. The Islanders would take that one 4-3 in overtime, visiting the Montreal Canadiens. And then their second go around to Montreal on March 21st, they would lose 3-7 or 7-3, I guess. And then of course they will match up one more time, and we will see who wins the season series. But there will be a winner in this one, and Jacob and I will be looking forward to that.
Yeah, definitely. And I will move on to the next game, which sees the Ottawa Senators host the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Ottawa Senators win this one 5-2, defeating the Battle of Ontario and taking home bragging rights, I guess. And then Linus Olmark was the winning goalie, and Warren Fogle scored the game-winning goal. So yeah, and Warren Fogle has been on fire since he joined the Ottawa Senators. So I'm very proud of him, and we do miss him in Edmonton, by the way.
Absolutely, we miss him in Edmonton, but yeah, no, I mean, no complaints from me. I mean, I like to see the Sens do well, and I like to see former Oilers do well, and for Warren Fogle, he's doing that right now, so very good. But yeah, of course, in the next matchup, we have the St. Louis Blues who visit the Vancouver Canucks, and the Blues who are also in the basement of the league, but albeit they are better than the Canucks, at least in my opinion, do beat the Vancouver Canucks 3-1, and Jordan Binnington would, have himself a solid performance in this one, along with Pavel Buchnevich, who would score the second goal for the Blues, and that would stand as your game winner in this one. And I don't have anything else to say, so let's move on.
And next game sees the Boston Bruins visiting the Detroit Red Wings, and Boston takes this one 4-2, with Jeremy Swayman being the game-winning goalie and Nikita Zadorov being the scoring the game-winning goal. And now we move on to the schedule. We didn't just leave the last game away and we go to the schedule. I'm just kidding,
I,
guys.
I,
Unfortunately, we have to.
I wish we could do that.
Let's just skip it and we go to the next thing. No, unfortunately, we have to accept the team's losses, the team's wins, the team's hardships, and the positive stuff. So unfortunately, because we don't want to be like biased towards our team, we have to unfortunately say it. So
But yeah, anyways, the Tampa Bay Lightning visiting the Edmonton Oilers beat the Oilers 5-2, and Andrei Vasilevsky would obviously be your game-winning goalie, and Nikita Kucherov would be, would score the game-winning goal, and that one actually came shorthanded, which that was a very unfortunate goal to allow. One positive though that did come out of this game was that Josh Szymanski scored his first NHL goal, along with his first as Edmonton Oilers. So congrats to him, but man, this team sucks right now, and that Pacific as a whole is just like I said, it's embarrassing. I don't want to be a part of it, and I don't even know what's going on with it. It's atrocious. It's outrageously bad, and I don't know. The NHL needs to restructure the way they do the playoffs because honestly, man, like this division is just disappointing.
yeah, it is, and it is what it is. I'm gonna. That's what I'm gonna do because if I have to speak about this game, I will literally lose my marbles and start cussing out everybody. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm ready to move on.
yes, I am too, and I like the randomizer we did today. That was actually kind of fun, and it
It will
adds a
be
little
back
bit of.
though.
It
It
will
will
be
be back
back.
though. We promise. We promise it will be back.
All right. Well,
We might
anywho, we will. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
we might even start doing it almost every day. If there's two games, obviously we'll recap both of them. But if there's like a game where there's like five or more, or like three or more, four or more, then we'll do it. But yeah, we'll
Yep.
let you know how that goes. But we will definitely plan this off camera for you guys.
Sounds good. But yes, of course, we will do our NHL schedule for tomorrow. So I will say the game and the time, obviously who's matching up, and Iacob will say your starting goaltenders. So in our first matchup of the day, we had the Winnipeg Jets facing off against the New York Rangers, and that game was at 10 a.m. Mountain Time and noon Eastern Time.
We see Eric Comrie against a new goalie that we've never spoken about, Dylan Guerin. I think he's like a prospect or something.
He has, and he's played a couple NHL games for the Rangers, but I believe that's his first start of the season. So good for him, and I mean we'll see what happened tomorrow.
Yep.
But moving on, obviously at 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time, and that'll be 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We have the Colorado Avalanche visiting the Washington Capitals.
We see the Washington Colorado Avalanche go with Mackenzie Blackwood, and Logan Thompson will get the start for Washington.
I don't know why Logan Thompson has such a bad score. Oopsies! I don't know what I just did. But anyways, I don't understand how the scoring's done. I'm gonna be honest. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
But then, of course, at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, and that'll be 3 p.m. Eastern Time, we see the Carolina Hurricanes go and visit the Pittsburgh Penguins, which we see one guy that we know very well.
We see Frederick Anderson against.
Stuart Skinner!
Yay!
Man, I kind of miss him in Edmonton, especially with how he's been playing as a Penguin. Like, not that actually he has returned down to earth, Yaka, but
That is
still,
true. Yeah.
I would take him over Tristan Jarry any day of the week. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. Can we ship Jari back? We'll take Skinner back. We'll just ship Jari back.
Can we just like reverse the trade?
Yeah, can we just nullify the trade just like the Ravens did with Max Crosby? Can we just nullify the trade? Can we say that his physical went wrong or something so that we can get Jari Skinner back? We'll just reject the trade. Just be like, oh nope, his physical was wrong. We don't need him. We don't want him anymore. You guys have him back. He can't pass his physical. No, unfortunately, we're stuck with Jari.
Well, that's too bad. But anyways, we see the Nashville Predators face off against the Chicago Blackhawks, and that is also at 1 p.m. Mountain Time and 3 p.m. Eastern Time.
And we see UC Saros versus Spencer Knight.
All right. Then we have a couple of 5 p.m. Mountain Time start games, and 7 p.m. Eastern Time starts. And the first one will be the Columbus Blue Jackets visiting the Islanders, which these two teams are real close in the standings right now.
And foreshadowing, this was actually a very close game, and Kyle wishes this game never happened because he made a mistake. So yeah.
I actually
Oh,
don't really care, Jakob. I'm gonna be honest. You're acting like I'm supposed to care.
I don't know. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't care. I don't care about that. You don't care that. I don't care that you don't care. But anyway,
Just
we
say
see
the
Jet
damn
Greaves.
goalies. Good. Good boy.
Now I'm getting a little confused as to what's going on. But we see Jet Greaves versus Ilya Sorokin. Okay, whatever.
And then the second of those 5 o'clock Mountain Time starts and 7 p.m. Eastern Time starts. We see the Golden Knights visit the Dallas Stars.
We will see Aiden Hill versus Casey DeSmith.
Well, Vegas lost, let's be honest.
No, Vegas actually won.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why are we terrible, man? Edmonton, can you win a dang hockey game, please?
I'm pretty sure Calgary won too.
Well, they're not in the race, let's be honest. But anyways, 6 p.m. Mountain
Oh,
Time.
Anaheim won. Anaheim won.
Can you shut it, please? I'm trying to say these damn games. Anyways,
Yeah, we
6
suck.
p.m. Mountain Time start, and this will be 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We see the Tampa Bay Lightning visit the Calgary Flames in their, finishing of their Alberta road trip.
And we see Jonas Johansson as Andrei Vasilevsky played against Edmonton yesterday against Devin Cooley for the Flames.
Then for the second start game at this time period, we have the Buffalo Sabres visiting the Anaheim Ducks.
And unfortunately, it was Alex Lyon versus Ville Husso.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. And then in our final game of the day, we have the LA Kings visiting the Utah Mammoth. And that game is at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, and that'll be 9 p.m. Eastern Time.
And we will see Darcy Kemper versus Karol Vizmelka.
And Jakob, we have a problem. It is too late to make picks of the day.
That's not a problem, in my opinion. I think that's just for the fans. It's a problem. For me, it's okay because I was busy all day, so it's okay. We'll make a couple tomorrow if we remember. But yeah, unfortunately, sorry guys. But the picks from yesterday I went 1 for 2, as I said, Islanders to beat the Canadians, which unfortunately that one did not hit. And then I put Warren Fogle point or goal, and he got it. He got the point. So I went 1 for 2, and Kyle actually went 2 for 2, and he will let you guys say it.
Which I said a Matt Schaefer goal, which of course he did score a beautiful goal. I didn't see it, but I assume it was beautiful. And then we also saw the Boston Bruins beat the Detroit Red Wings, which I will take my 2 for 2 and I will run with it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I guess like at this point, we'll ask our question of the day, Jakob, because we haven't done one of those in a bit. And what should our question of the day be?
Explain to me why the Edmonton Oilers are terrible.
Obviously, that's a joke, but you guys can answer that question, I guess, if you guys decide to. But for a serious question of the day, I'm thinking, Jakob. I don't know. What have we? I don't even know what we've asked anymore. Like, I should be keeping track of what we're actually asking so I know what to ask. But let's see. That's a good question. Why do we never come up with these in advance? We're actually stupid.
What team has surprised you the most so far? Or what team that you thought that were losers at the trade deadline actually turned out to be winners after the deadline?
Some people think the Predators were losers, but I still think they were a winner because they got a lot in their sales. And
Well,
they're doing
that's the
pretty
question of the
good.
day since I can't think of anything. What team has surprised you the most so far in the NHL? For me, that would be the Buffalo Sabres.
For a second question that is completely unrelated to hockey, what is your favorite movie? So leave your favorite
Uh,
movie down below, and maybe Jakob and I will watch one of those movies together.
a third comment is, what is your favorite song?
Oh boy, that one's gonna be good. Yeah,
And then we'll take a listen and we'll let you know.
man. Now we'll have a short yap session, Jakob, because I don't like I
Yeah.
said, we haven't been able to do that. But obviously, this weekend, like I was mentioning yesterday, we had a curling bonspiel, and by the way, my team actually ended up getting second in the bonspiel. And Jakob, I think I already sent you a picture of it, but I have my trophy right here, and It's actually a really nice trophy, all things considered. So here she is. Here's my trophy for winning the B event in the Bonspiel. And I'm gonna be honest, this is a real good trophy considering everything.
It looks nice, bro. I like it. Honestly, I'm proud of you. Congrats to you and your team. And I like watching curling. I've never understood the game, but I can't say I hate it because I never played it, but I did watch it, and from what they're doing, I like watching it. So I will definitely give it a go next time me and Kyle will be together. I'll definitely try and see what I feel like. But yeah, I've never thought much about curling, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm doing curling," and I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, now you got me curious." And oh my goodness, there was a sport that me and Kyle played really good together when we were doubles, and I remember
Badminton.
badminton. Me and Kyle, we were like the dynamic duo. Like like when we were in elementary school, we would never lose a game, bro. We were just like everyone would be scared to play us. I'm telling you, like we would get a bunch of people that were like, "Nah, we don't want to play you. Move next," and we were like, "Man." So me and Kyle half the time used to just play 1v1 versus each other just to warm up and stay warm while we find a team because nobody wanted to play us because everyone was scared that we were gonna crush them. So we just started playing 1v1 against each other.
That reminds me, we need to play badminton too because we have not played in a long time. But yeah, actually, how the bracket ended up working out was we played a round robin where, of course, in our pool we placed second, so that was good enough to get us into the Group A tournament. Which anyone who didn't qualify for the Group A tournament to begin with went straight to the C tournament. Which, if you lost a game in the C tournament, you were out. But if you lost your first game in the A tournament, you would get demoted to the B tournament, which we did lose our first game in the A tournament, obviously losing to a team that proceeded to go to the finals. So I'm not ashamed. We lost to the team that placed second in the Bondsfield. So,
Mm.
which by the way, we did also play the team that ended up winning, and we lost them as well. But then obviously today we ended up playing the B bracket, and we won both our games, and we came out as champions and had a good time. And now I'm really
Mm.
happy with the result. And I did make a post on my personal Instagram, which I actually did leave a story on our Instagram. So go check it on our Instagram at IKNHL Daily Talk, or of course my personal handle, Kyle was Linchuk. But yeah, just go find it on IKNHL Daily Talk. I left it on the story.
Yeah, that is true. But yeah, I think it's the first time Kyle has ever won something for curling, isn't it?
I mean, first time I've ever won like a serious tournament. Like obviously we've won a game and whatnot, but I've
Like
never
that's what I
won
meant,
a
like a tournament,
Bonspiel.
like something serious, like a tournament or something.
Yeah,
I think this is the first time Kyle's ever showed me a trophy of curling. Maybe he has one hidden underneath. Maybe he stole something one day and just
no,
decided to never tell me. Nah, I'm
that's
just
my
messing with
first
you.
one. Which actually, Jakob, by the way, I think I told the fans briefly yesterday, but this is not the end, bro. We will be playing on Wednesday to win our league as well. So
Oh,
we've had a very good year for curling. And hey, Minnie, what's up, girl? Here, come say hi to the podcast. Okay,
hello.
turn yourself around. Oh my gosh, she's being dumb.
Okay, yeah,
Hello.
she.
Okay, she's angry. I'm putting her down. But yes, there you go. There's Minnie, my
I
good
did also
girl.
hear that Kyle, for anyone who didn't hear, or maybe it's a Spotify, Kyle, tell them what you're gonna do this summer with your crazy idea.
Oh, I think I already spoke about it briefly. I think I've mentioned it.
Oh,
It's
I don't
not
think you
even
told
a.
it on the Spotify.
I don't know, honestly. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm gonna be doing an ultra marathon, and I'm gonna be running for 20 hours, bro, and I'm gonna want to die, but should
Yeah,
be
your legs are
fun.
gonna be cramped. You're not gonna be able to go to the gym for like a week, bro. You probably won't even be able to get out of bed for a whole week, bro.
But yeah, it's a 100-mile race, and I'm gonna be in pain. I can tell you that. But
I could tell you that now. 100 miles just straight running. Yeah, your legs are gonna feel like they're actually gonna die, bro.
oh, by the way, Jakob, I looked up the course record. You want to know what the course record is for the ultra marathon that I'm doing?
Let's hear it.
Okay, well, just take a guess. What do you think the course record would be for 100 miles?
And you have what, 30 hours to complete it?
Yeah, what do you think the course record would be?
I'm thinking like maybe like 17, 18 hours.
That's a really good guess because the course record is 18 hours and 5 minutes. That that's
What?
that's the record. That's the fastest someone ran it in.
All right, so Kyle's gonna try to beat that. Nah, Kyle would die, bro.
I'm just gonna be happy to complete it, no matter how long I take. To be honest,
I'm just gonna be happy with a medal that says I completed the 100-mile race.
I don't even care about the medal. I just want that like 30-second dopamine rush after finishing the race.
Like Kyle, are you gonna record it on Strava for us, bro?
I'll see what I can do because I don't know if my phone can hold a charge for that long. So I will try my best, but ultimately I'll see what I can do. Obviously,
You should bring one of those like battery packs with you, bro.
yeah, that's true. Actually, I should, but I don't know. I'll figure something out, and it's gonna be insane. I already know that
Yeah.
much.
I'm definitely excited to see. I'm hoping you do this Strava, bro. I'm excited to see how it feels to run a 100K marathon because
100
it's
mile. It's even
100
further
mi-
than 100K.
I know, bro. That's insane.
Yeah, but no. Yeah, I'm a definitely gonna have an Instagram post. I'll be taking lots of pictures, so I'll be sharing pictures here as well, so you guys will get to see all of that, But Jakob obviously will be doing the podcast alone that day because, well, I'm not gonna be there to make it happen.
Yeah, and I will try to figure out a way to do it on YouTube. I think I'm gonna try a Zoom meeting, but we'll see how long it takes me to. Usually it doesn't take us that long, so I might, but because the limit for Zoom is like 40 minutes, so usually it takes me like 20, 25 minutes, maybe 30 minutes to record. So I might try to do a Zoom for you guys just to, but we will see how that goes, and
Yeah.
I might just stick to Spotify if I think it's too much work. But I will try to do something for the fans to, ensure that you guys, can see my face when, you guys when Kyle leaves. So
Yeah.
yeah,
No, maybe what I'll do is when I'm on my trip for that yak, maybe like mid race, if I get a chance, maybe I'll try to get on a call for a couple minutes to join you on the episode or whatever. But we'll figure it
Kyle
out.
calls mid race. Okay, this is the score of the Oilers game. I'm good, guys. 5-3. Edmonton win. We'll go back. I'm gonna look at him like. I'm actually no. That day. I'm actually going to do an episode, and I'm definitely gonna. If you call me, I'm gonna show the camera. We'll be like, here, you guys go. This is exactly what Kyle's doing.
I mean, if I can call, if I can't, then obviously I won't. But I don't know what it's gonna look like yet exactly, so we'll see. I'm
Yeah.
more than likely Jakob will be all alone. I will not be joining in any fashion.
Yeah, he's gonna call me. Okay, this is the news. Hold on, guys. Let me catch my breath. Okay, I'm good,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah. Well, based off the date it's on, that'll be off season already, Jakob. So that'll be like free agency season. But it'll
Yeah,
be
it'll
like
be.
it'll be after the bulk of the signings because that'll be like it's July 11th, so it'd be like 10 days after free agency opens. So you'll have a few signings to talk about, I'm sure that day. Anyways,
Yeah, and I will. You guys are probably wondering real quick before we talk about it, you guys are wondering, oh, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna keep continuing the podcast during the off season? Question for you guys is yes, we will. We will just figure out something to do and like for instance, maybe we might take 32 days and talk about all 32 teams and our expectations for next season. We will come up with a plan, but definitely do expect podcast. Maybe we'll like, if there wasn't like big news or anything, we'll see. We will try to get one to you guys every day, but we'll see how it goes. We'll discuss this off camera and we'll let you guys know. But definitely do expect a podcast episode almost every single day from us. Unless, we post that, we can't do it or there was no news or us or anything to talk about or but
mm-hmm.
we'll find something out. So yeah.
Yeah, no, the off season may be daily. We'll see, but we don't really know what it's gonna look like yet because I mean we haven't done a podcast episode during the off season. Mind you, we don't even know what the beginning of a season's gonna be like, Jakob.
Yeah, the beginning of the season is going to be insane. We're going to be saying, like, welcome to a brand new season. I hope everyone's buckled up and ready to go.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be crazy because then we're gonna have to talk. There's gonna be a lot of waiver news at the start of the year because everyone's gonna be sent down through training camp and whatnot.
Yeah, that's true. That's going to be insane. But uh, it's looking like we off season, depending on how it goes, it might just be a weekly episode. We might just pick a day every week to do it and just recap everything that happened that week. We'll figure something out. But,
If Yeah, if we do
it might.
weekly episodes though, we'll for sure do some shorts along the week too.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. We'll do like especially free agency signings. Do expect a lot of shorts though during free agency signings. That will be big for.
Hmm.
But yeah, obviously there will be shorts when but if we decide to do it weekly, and we'll see. I'm kind of leaning towards doing it weekly just because it's off season. There's not really much to talk about, but and we'll just combine it into one big video. So do expect the video to be a little bit long if we decide to do it weekly. If we decide to do it daily, expect them to be short. If we decide to do them weekly, expect a very long one. If it was a week that we had a lot of news and a lot of waiver wires and stuff.
Absolutely, but yeah, no, I think we've had a good yap session. I think Jakob and I can continue whatever we're talking about off camera, but I think it's ready. It's time to end this episode, and like we said, we will try to remember to make more than just one pick yesterday, of course, because ooh, confetti, good boy. What? What kind of like? How do you get those effects, bro?
Might just be because because I'm on a MacBook, bro. Like they be
Oh, oh, oh,
yeah. So
oh. That's how Yaka felt after the Oilers game last night.
yeah. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see if it happens again. Hold on.
The Oilers
There you
game.
go. How could
Edmonton
this
Oilers.
happen to me?
All right, we're getting out of here. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah,
Have a great
yeah.
rest of your day. And, well, I guess your day is probably over, but have a great week ahead. And we will see you guys tomorrow with another episode. Peace out, y'all.
Peace out, everyone.